Hello and welcome to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I'm your host, Ryan Gilbert, joined as always with my co-host, Joel Meyer. How are we doing tonight, Joel?
Doing all right. A lot better than yesterday. Fully recovered. Had a full 9 hours of sleep. Well earned, I would say. It's been a fun day so far. And the Patriots are up 21-10 somehow. I think they covered the game total in the first half.
Yes, yeah.
So that's good. I hope the Steelers don't make the playoffs. That's what I'm sweating the most. Plus a Patriots teaser leg plus 11.5. I think that one should be fine. Now hockey's been pretty kind to me lately. Today as well. Islanders just scored another goal, helping the Salami out. Not much else to report. How about you? What's going on with you?
Yeah, I know. Hockey's been good tonight. I hit Sharks live. I hit Sabres live. They beat Bruins there. Flyers are up 2-1. Tired, but it's been a long day. But these hockey bets are definitely helping out here. We also got a comment on last night's video from Greg or somebody Horvath, Grant Horvath. He said Hungarian flag. Is that a Hungarian flag behind you, Joel?
That is the Austro-Hungarian Empire. What the 19th century, early 20th century. And yeah, so that's when the Austrians and the Hungarians were allied under the Habsburgs. So a big fan of that. But I like Hungary. That's the Hungarian side, because obviously that's the green, white, and red. But of course, there's Austrian elements in that as well. So yes, good on him. I guess he must be Hungarian. Well, it doesn't take much to recognize the Hungarian flag, but Horvath actually is a Hungarian name, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so hopefully that cleared it up for you there, Grant. And yeah, things going well tonight. Flyers up 2-1, as I mentioned. A few interesting games earlier in the docket. Bruins, I don't know what's going on with them. Sabres, they got Thompson back in those depth injuries, still beat them 3-1. Kings, my boy Cam Talbot, another shutout. Even if it is against the Canadians, it's a shutout. No one's gonna remember it was against a shit team. So yeah. Oh wait, the Leafs covered the over.
They sure did.
4-3 final. Let's go. All right, I'll take that. Oh,
Joseph Fall, broken dick.
I saw that. My boy Claude Giroux coming through with the 7th goal there for the over.
Yep.
So at least that wasn't a total loss with my my Sens live bet.
Indeed. What do you want to talk about this games today? I mean, the Sharks are the story of the week. Like they've been scoring. It's another 6 goals today. I mean, they've scored like 4 goals in 4 games straight now. It's ridiculous how they've found their goal scoring prowess. I guess teams are just looking past them and just playing like shit. And then it's also because teams are, when they're up against them, they think that, we're on our way to another 10-1 victory, like the Canucks and the Penguins, I think, who are the ones who won 10-1. And then just let their guard down and let the Sharks back in the game. They're the ultimate backdoor garbage kings. These garbage fish, bottom feeders. But hey,
it was 4-0, right? It was 4-0 Wings, and then the Sharks just stormed back.
Yeah, and then 4-4, and then the Red Wings took a lead, and then the Sharks tied it late, like a minute to go, and then of course, the Reds blew it in the gimmicky overtime. But yeah, Sharks are on pace to not be the worst team in the league. I think the Blackhawks might overtake them in the end. We'll get into that a little bit later. Otherwise, I didn't see much. I was paying attention mostly to Bruins, Sabres, and Leafs, Sens. Nothing much going on elsewise. Islanders again, 7-3. Speaking of teams that have been deprived of goal scoring lately, they found their goal scoring touch. 7-3 over the Blue Jackets now.
I mean, talking about the Sharks and the Blue Jackets. I mean, right now the Blackhawks have the lowest point percentage. They're currently playing the Ducks. I think they're up 1-0, but Sharks are still minus 120 for the worst record. Hawks are 2-1, Blue Jackets 7-1. So that's a market probably worth exploring. Maybe we'll hit on that later in the show with our futures talk there. I'm not really sure if anything else major happened today. So just make sure you're subscribed to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcast. Leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts, so I have something to read at the end of the show. Also, Spotify. It's always good to follow there. Turn on auto downloads to get the episodes in your feed as soon as they are published. And get in the Discord, sg.pn/Discord. People throwing out, some good live stats, some good live bets. We got some charts and models in there. So always it's a good time in the Discord. Good discourse in the Discord. To get in the Discord, you can reach out to myself on Twitter. You can reach out to the Hockey Gamer Podcast Twitter account at HockeySGPN. I don't have anything funny for Joel right now. Maybe at the end of the show I'll think of something. But in the meantime, here we'll just get right into these games here for Thursday or Friday.
You can find Joel in the court of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, chilling with the incestual Habsburgs.
Yes.
You just say, look for the guy looking the most out of place, and then ask him, how do you get in the Discord there, sir, Lord Duke Joel?
Yeah. Duke Joel. Joel the Duke Meyer. All right, we got a 3-game slate here on Friday, December 8th. You ready to get into this here?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to kick things off here with the 7 o'clock time slot. We have the Pittsburgh Penguins down there in Florida at the Panthers. Panthers are -148. Penguins are +124. Over under is at 6.5. Out of pick 'em there, both at -110 here. I guess I'll kick this one off here. I like the Panthers here. Panthers -148. I think right now, fading the Penguins is a pretty good thing to do. They have not been playing well recently, and maybe they'll feel at home down there in Florida. That's where all the old snowbirds go when they retire. So maybe Crosby, Malkin, Letang get a preview of their retirement life down there. But yeah, Pittsburgh's now lost 3 straight, 2 against the Flyers in overtime and shootout, and then against Tampa Bay. Cats, meanwhile, they've been trading wins and losses recently, but I think they've been playing better than their record indicates now. So I think the Cats here at home -148. That's a good price, but these have just been 2 under teams right here. Pittsburgh's gone under in 8 of their past 9, 8 of their past 10 with a push in there. Florida, 7 of their past 10 with a push in there. So got to go under 6.5 -110, and the Panthers as home favorites.
All right, I'll be perfectly honest. This is the first time I'm looking at these lines, because part of getting that 9-hour sleep in is that I missed the early window to bet these games. So this is a fresh look for me. But yeah, I totally agree with you on both side and total. The Panthers are not the Panthers of previous years. Been over this before. They're playing much more defensive hockey. They're getting better goaltending. And the Penguins, meanwhile, there's number one, don't have the power play going yet. We say it all the time. Like, these guys have Carlson, Malkin, Gensel, Crosby, Rust. These guys have been proficient on the power play in years past. But hey, there's only one puck, and with Erik Karlsson maybe coming in the lineup, that kind of disrupts the chemistry between them. I don't know, but also Evgeny Malkin just takes so many dumb fucking shots. Watching him against the Lightning there, like, just the puck dies in his stick way too often, which explains part of their poor power play performance. So yeah, I like the under quite a bit. If the Penguins power play ever gets going, watch out. They'll be an over team, because Jari's been good, but their defense is not elite, and they still get the 5-5 scoring. I think I saw the other day or last night rather, that Crosby leads the league in 5-5 points. So they're okay 5-5, for whatever reason, when they get 5-4, they just can't put the puck in the net. It's kind of silly, and I expect that to regress at some point. But until that happens, I'm fine just fading that power play. So yeah, I love the under 6.5, and I love the Panthers here. Just they're the more balanced team, better team, and yeah, the Penguins are just a bit of a mess right now. So I mean, I saw Mike Sullivan climbing up the odds board in terms of the next coach fired, which speaks to how poorly the Penguins are playing, considering their skill and how all in they're supposed to be this year. So yeah, Panthers here all the way.
Yeah, it's worth noting the Penguins are without Brian Rust. Noah Chari's questionable. Pierre Oliver Joseph's out. Nieto's been out for a bit now, so they're taking some injuries there. And yeah, their power play is awful. I know they have Letang back running it here, but that's still not improving things for them. All right, the other 7 o'clock game here. We have the St. Louis Blues at the Columbus Blue Jackets. Game itself is in Columbus. Columbus is +110. Blues are -130. Over under is at 6.5. Over paying off -105. Under is at -115. What do you got here for the Blue Jackets on a back-to-back?
Yeah, this is one of the rare occasions in the year that I think I'm going to be back in the Back in the Blues, Blue Jackets getting shelled today. They have Spencer Martin in net, so they'll have Merzlikins in net for this one, presumably. And he's been a lot better this year, especially compared to last year, where he's pretty much the worst goalie in the league. But still, I like the Blues to get back on track here after kind of a not a surprising loss, but losing 6-3 to the Golden Knights after they were there. I don't know, at least equals in Vegas, and then just got shelled at home.
They were ahead in that game too. They were up, I think, 2-1 and 3-1.
3-1, right? Yeah. So that's got to stick in the crowd. The well-coached team, I think they can come back from that. Minus 130 is pretty cheap considering the Blue Jackets are probably the worst team in the Eastern Conference, and then the Blues are, I should have won them all the time, but they're at least, they're like an average team at best, but still, minus 130 is a cheap price. So give me the Blues here. I like the under, though, for the total. With Merzlikins in net, I expect them to get better defense, better goaltending in this one against the Blues, who struggle to score at the best of times. And, the Blue Jackets, meanwhile, are not exactly proficient offensively either. So under 6.5, I think, is a good number to back the under as well.
I'm seeing here they put Merzlikins on the injured reserve with an illness. Line is questionable with an illness. Sillinger's out with a upper body injury. Boquist is out. Apparently, they're starting some guy tomorrow projected to be Jet Greaves, who AHL this season 899 save percentage. AHL last season 899 save percentage. Hop on the Blues here while this line is still at minus 130.
Yeah, cancel the under. I do not want Jeff Green or whatever the hell you said his name was.
Jet Greaves. It's a hockey name, but it might not be. It might not be a goalie name based off his stats. Also a back-to-back for the Blues, so you're not sure if it's going to be Binnington or Hofer there. Binnington's been the better goalie. But hop on the Blues here, minus 130. You can still get around minus 120 other books, so get on that while you can. And going back to that Panthers line, minus 148 is still one of the best on the board. It's up to minus 162 elsewhere. So that line is going to be on the move as well. So, with Jet Greaves in that, I bet much of the market has not realized that yet. So, the Blues are shit, but they can beat the Blue Jackets on a back-to-back. So Blues minus 130. And, you can't play anything on the total there. All right. We are brought to you by Bet Rivers. Bet Rivers is available in over 14 states, plus Ontario, Canada. Bet Rivers has some of the best live betting markets in this space. Their betting menu is second to none, including a ton of props. Depositing and withdrawing is super easy on Bet Rivers. Sign up using our link to get a risk-free bet up to $500. Just go to sportsmanpodcast.com/betrivers. That's sportsmanpodcast.com/betrivers. My Bet Rivers play of the day is the Kings to win the cup at 15-1. Hop on that while you still can. Maybe 14-1, but they're definitely a contender. Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. And we're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, who has a way to play alongside your favorite fantasy players all season long, no matter the sport. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite players' fantasy stats and cash in. So watch along, make your picks, and maybe make a little cash over on Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. When you sign up with the promo code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit of up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. All right, here, going down to the final game on this big 3-game slate at 9 o'clock. We have the Minnesota Wild at the Edmonton Oilers. Game itself is in Edmonton. Oilers are minus 180. Wild are plus 150. Over-under is at 6.5. Overpaying off minus 130 with the under at plus 110. Joel, are the Oilers back now?
Well, that's another thing we can get into later. But regarding this game, I think that the Oilers are in good shape here. The line is inflated, but of course that's because the Wild are on this back-to-back. I haven't looked who's confirmed to play tonight. I assume it's Gustafsson.
Yeah, correct.
So it'll be Marc-Andre Fleury tomorrow. So that makes me like the Oilers even more. But you got to pay the tax there, minus 180. That seems a little high, but the way that they've been playing lately, just bullying teams, even a team as good as the Hurricanes, who got thrashed like the first 10 minutes, 4-0 after the first period. Brendan Moore thought it should be 50-0 if you heard the bench interview there with Darren Pang. I like the Oilers here, even at this high number, and the total is high. The Oilers goaltending is it's turned a 180 here. Like Skinner and Campbell were terrible. Pickard came up; he was terrible, and they were thinking of trading for UC Saros. But since that Carolina game, Skinner's pulled his game back together, and so yeah, it's not an automatic over here with how the Wild have been playing lately. They figured things out. Defensively, they're allowing fewer chances, fewer actual goals, fewer expected goals, and their goaltending is it's really turned a corner since Hines has come into the building. So yeah, the total is not too interesting. A lean to the under, a contrary under in an Oilers game, but I'm not actually confident enough to play that. Stronger play is definitely on the Oilers side here. Maybe even do the -1.5 here at +135 or so. I think that the Oilers keep it rolling here against the Wild. Who'll be in a bit of a battle in a pick'em game against the Canucks tonight. Starting off, puck drop is in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think the Oilers, are back. We will get into that, but -180 is a bit steep here, especially with the Wild playing so well under John Hines. They got the new coach bump, and they've won 4 games all by 2 goals so far. So I think if anything, I would go with that Oilers puck line at +136. They've been winning games pretty comfortably for their past 5 games. They've won 5 straight. 4 of those wins were by at least 2. Only other one was a 5-4 shootout win against Vegas. Minnesota on a back-to-back, going to have travel, going to have Fleury in net, who's, I guess, worse than Gustafsson at this point. Yeah, he has to be. Maybe a team total, as Sharky throws out in the chat there. Edmonton team total over 3.5, around -130, -145. I mean, that's a bit cheaper than the -180. Maybe a race to 4 at +115. Race to 3, -130 could be a look as well. Because, Edmonton has been playing better defensively, getting better in net, only allowing 1 goal in each of the past 2 games. So, I think the Oilers here are the play, and I think the safest would just be putting a smaller play on the puck line and getting those plus odds.
Makes sense to me. Also, McDavid, we should bring this up, just a totally different player than he was since his early injury. So, when he's going, the rest of the team are going. Zach Hyman continues to put up crazy numbers, both in terms of the underlying stuff and actual stuff. Another hat trick for him. I think he has 3 hat tricks on the year. I think I heard that today. He's got 15 goals anyway, so he's definitely putting the puck in the net. He's only 3 behind Brock Besser for the Richard race, so that's pretty nutty. But I love to see it, considering the Leafs let him go, even though he only commanded like a $4 million contract. What a player though, Zach Hyman. He's a dog out there, and that's just what the Oilers need.
Yeah, I also do like I did take the over 6.5 on this. There's a book hanging in at -112. It's -130 here on the book we're looking at. So I wouldn't take it -130, but if it comes back down to around a pick 'em, I think the over is the play. Edmonton's going to put up, 4 or 5 probably, and Minnesota's capable of scoring a few. All right, we got some consensus plays here for this 3-game slate. We got the Panthers money line -148. We have the under 6.5 in that game at -110. We have the Blues at -130, and then we have the Oilers, whichever way you want to take them there. Do we want to do a best bet for a 3-game slate here on Friday?
If you want to, I'll put something in, even though I haven't bet any of these games yet.
We can do it. I mean, we felt pretty strongly about our plays so far. I'll go with the Cats, -148 at home against the Penguins. There,
I figured you were going that way. I'll go with the under 6.5 in that game, -110. It's just fade the Penguins offense until they get cooking again. Like I said, all the time, they're a streaky team right now. They're on a downward spiral. They haven't scored too many goals lately, so the Panthers should be able to shut them down and win this one. Even though they've been a couple shoot ups themselves lately with the Stars and the Islanders games, they let in 4+ goals in both of those. But I think they can get on track here and against an impotent Penguins offense.
Your best bets from tonight, you have the Preds Lightning over 6.5. That's 3-1 Preds midway through the thirds. With the Lightning tie it, you're going to get there. I
Hoping
have
John Cooper pulls the goalie like 10 minutes early, like he usually does.
Yeah, get a few empty netters in there. I have the Stars minus 142. That line didn't come down too much on a back to back. I think I saw minus 135 or minus 130 was the best today.
Yeah,
They're
it went
tied.
down to minus 135, but apparently everyone else was thinking like I was. Then they just bet it and went right back up. So luckily there's a few slow books out there. But yeah, it didn't move down as much as I thought. But I guess everyone else had the same idea.
Yeah, they're tied right now, 3-3 in the third. Looks like the Caps are about to go on. No, Caps just scored a power play goal, so the Stars are losing now 4-3 as well. So hopefully we can bounce back here with our best bets. Before we get into our futures talk here, we're brought to you by Game Time. Buying tickets to your favorite event shouldn't be stressful, but Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for other sports, music, comedy, and theater near you. With killer deals on last-minute tickets and their best price guarantee, you can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for the fun you'll have. The Game Time app experience is fantastic. You get the easy to find and buy tickets for every event. Get those images of the seat view so you know exactly what to expect before you arrive. Buy tickets in a matter of seconds, 2 taps, and you are set. So snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Game Time tickets make the perfect holiday gift. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CFBX for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. And make sure you check out Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every bet with historical stats and data. Enter any parlay idea into Hall of Fame Bet's revolutionary parlay optimizer tool to get hit rates broken down by leg, as well as an expected probability for the entire parlay. Sort all players by hit rate for any bet to learn which players are hot and which picks have value. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching the Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hrfbets.com and use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. All right, Joel, we haven't had some time to go through some futures bets in a while here. What are you thinking about? You want to go just around the horn here?
Yeah, well, just a couple thoughts on each one, I guess. But I haven't placed too many bets recently in the awards markets because things aren't really popping off so much. I mean, here and there, whatever. If a player scores a couple goals and the odds don't move, whatever, I'll put a small bet in, like on Artemi Panarin during that hattie that he got against the Sharks on Sunday. Got a little 14-1 there, but not much going on. But yeah, the Rocket Richard is not too interesting. I played some Brock Besser just because he's ahead and he's still 30, 40, 50-1. So I don't mind that because everything else is pretty correctly priced. I don't think McDavid is going to win that. He's too far behind and he's being more of a distributor right now. And yeah, Pasternak is rightfully the second favorite. Austin Matthews, I don't think he scored today, did he?
I don't think so.
No, but he's at 16 goals.
Yeah, I must. Did he have 15 before tonight?
No, 16 is right. I think.
Right, yeah. No, yeah. He did not score tonight. He had 2 last game against Boston.
Right. Okay. Yeah. See, he's the rightful favorite and all that. So I don't think that there's too much interest here. If the Pens ever get their power play going, maybe Sidney Crosby can get some 5-on-4 goals for once at 50-1. But
80-1 here. I'm seeing at a book with a lion roar.
Sure. Yeah. Always important to price shop. Lion roar. I like that. Yeah, other than that, it's nobody really is screaming value to me. Philip Forsberg, he's creeping up the odds. I don't know if he scored today. Hopefully, the Preds have 4 goals now, so I'll have to check that out. But yeah, Richard is pretty boring right now.
Yeah, I don't mind. I'm just looking at the goal scoring leaders and like what their shooting percentage is. Kucherov's he has 17 goals, one behind Besser. He's only quote unquote only shooting 13.5%. Like Reinhard Besser is shooting 25%. Pasternak's only shooting at 11.5%. He's at 14. I don't think the Bruins have enough offensive firepower though. I'm in on Matthews at around I think plus 200 from earlier in the season when he had those few hat tricks to start the year. Yeah, that Besser bet looks great, especially because he's leading it, and Vancouver, if they're going to be good, they're going to score goals. So I mean, I think that's a solid look. And yeah, Crosby, if they can ever get their power play going, that's a good long shot as well.
JT Miller is another Canuck option, and he's got a better price, 75, 80 to 1 or so. He's not too far behind Brock either.
No, he's 4 behind, yeah.
Yeah, as for the Hart, again, I don't think that Connor McDavid should be the favorite, so I've got pretty much everyone else now, except for Matthews in the top selections here, because he's just too far behind. He's obviously the best player in the league, but he won it last year, so in any kind of tiebreaker, they're not going to give it to him again. He's won it 3 times already. I mean, if the Oilers just go on a ridiculous roll and he wins the Art Ross again, okay, he's going to win it again. But at 3 to 1 here, I don't like that. I'm still looking to fade that, although the current prices are pretty fair in my opinion. The only one I'd maybe look at is I mean, Jack Hughes is the same kind of case. Plus, he's got the Hughes factor. This is the year of the Hughes, so voters might lean a little bit that way, narratively speaking. And he gets like 3 points in every fucking game. And if he didn't miss like those 2-3 weeks, then he would be the favorite by some margin. So if he keeps it rolling at this pace, he should be the favorite. And he's actually scoring goals too. And the Devils, I think that they'll find their way back into the playoffs. So Jack Hughes is kind of interesting at 5 to 1. It's just he's got some ground to make up as well. Kucherov, though, I kind of like him in this market better because historically he hasn't been the goal scorer. He's been more of the distributor. But again, it's been bet down here at 6 to 1, so that's less interesting. Makar's moving up the list now that he's healthy, playing tonight. But now down to 18 to 1. I still think that's a better bet than I don't know, Matthews here at 14 or so. Pettersson has been absolute garbage lately for the past 2-3 weeks. Makar should be ahead of him as well. So if you want, it's not much value there at 18, but I think that he's poised to go on a roll, assuming he's healthy. We don't exactly know how healthy he is yet after coming back from missing those couple games. But if he plays like he did before he got injured, then absolutely he is alive. Same with Quinn Hughes. He's still all the talk. Like you hear some of the voters, they're saying, it's Kucherov, Panarin, and Quinn Hughes. So those are the 3 names that are really popping up a lot. So Quinn Hughes at 20 to 1, I think is still a little interesting. Beyond that, Nylander at 25 to 1 he's kind of funny. I don't think that he has a chance. McKinnon all the way down to 30 to 1. I mean, he's still putting up points. I don't know why his odds are drifting out so far. I guess he's not getting the goals. He's being more of a distributor like Kucherov historically. 30 to 1 for McKinnon isn't a bad look. Beyond that, I don't know. Jack Eichel's come down. If you could still find a Jack Eichel at 100 to 1 or better, that's a decent look. And other than that, Crosby is 100 to 1 here.
Is he?
Yeah. If you like,
if you
like the Pens to figure it out and make the playoffs, that's your bet. Sidney Crosby.
Shout out Tally right there. 100 to 1 for Crosby.
Yeah, he'll be all over that after.
I like that Eichel too. I mean, I think Archer in the chat said like the deep dive podcast or Discord was like looking at recommended that.
Shout out to Drew Dinzik and the Deep Dive podcast. Love those guys, and the Discord as well. They made a lot of money on fucking Marsha's show for the Conn Smythe. So that was fun to follow them. Having final hours of fucking misery watching the Stars lose to them in the Western Conference Finals. But yeah, they're a pretty sharp group in there. And yeah, Jack Eichel is a decent look. I mean, he keeps scoring these clutch goals too. Like the Knights only play these 1-score games, so he's going to have a lot of game-winning goals in that sense. So yeah, Eichel has a shot for sure.
Yeah, I think out of all those, I do like Kucherov the best at 6 or 7 to 1. I mean, he's leading the league in points. He's going to keep putting up points. That power play is lethal. You just wonder if the voters take some stuff away from him because of the power play. NHL.com had their award trophy tracker last week, I believe. Hart, they did have Panarin first, Pasternak second, Quinn Hughes third. So
Panarin second,
I just, huh?
I didn't know Panarin was that highly regarded yet.
Panarin had 46 points and Pasternak had 42. So they were very close. Quinn Hughes 39. I just wonder if with Canucks, you said Pettersson slowing down, JT Miller's improving. I wonder if that's going to be so much of they think it's somewhat of a group effort, and Pettersson or Hughes doesn't get all the credit, especially with Makar coming up on
right now. It's all Quinn Hughes. Everyone's just just fucking blowing Quinn Hughes. That's the only Canuck they really care about right now. So yeah, Pettersson, when he was 30-1, 30-1, 35-1, was interesting when he was playing well, but now he's not playing well, not so interesting. And Quinn Hughes is still putting up great numbers. He's playing as good as ever. He's basically carrying this team, especially now that Demko's had a couple shitty games in a row.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've Hughes at 200 to 300 to 1. So yeah, I would absolutely love that if he comes to be one of the finalists and I'm able to, hedge out for some guaranteed profit there.
Yeah, speaking of Demko, still the favorite here for the Vezina. I mean, he still should be based on what he's done so far, but he's kind of slowing down. But he's played a couple elite offenses, especially the Devils. They score goals on every fucking goalie, so you can't really attack him too much for that. Yeah, this is a market that's totally uninteresting to me right now. I mean, I'm just hoping Demko, Ottinger, and Aiden Hill can hold on. Hopefully, Aiden Hill comes back healthy and then continues the way he was playing early in the year. But yeah, your guy Cam Talbot, man. I was totally wrong about bashing that bet at 100 to 1 because playing behind that Kings team is going to give him a lot of love because he's going to get the stats. And yeah, I don't believe that he's an elite goalie, but hey, when you're playing behind the best defensive team in the league, you don't have to be. Just look at Linus Ullmark last year. Right, he wasn't the best goalie in the league. Sorokin was, but Ullmark was playing behind the better defensive team, so he won. So that's your case for Cam Talbot as well. Aiden Hill gets some of that too, but I think that Aiden Hill is actually a better goalie than our goalie expert Talon thinks he is. But yeah, this is an interesting market. It's just not interesting right now. I mean, Connor Ingram, when if he was actually listed like 100 to 1 or better, then okay. But now at 25 to 1, not interested. I saw you let in 2 goals against the Flyers today. What's the score now?
I think it's
3 to 1 now.
I saw connecting. Got a shorty there. So yeah,
good for the Fly guys. Yeah. Beyond that, it's tough to find a candidate. A lot of these guys don't have a hope. They're either too far behind or they just suck. They play for bad teams, or they have a broken dick like Joseph Wall. Yeah, it's pretty chalky right now, but there's a bunch of guys in the mix. It's just I think it's pretty fairly priced at the moment. I mean, honestly, like Cam Talbot should be ahead of Shesterkin at least. But other than that, it's pretty marginal the differences between the price and their actual odds.
Yeah, I mean the market's finally what we've been talking about. Demko, Ottinger, Shesterkin's up there because he's a name, and the Rangers are one of the best teams in the league.
John the Quick should be ahead of him.
Hellebuck's still up there somehow. I don't think he has great numbers this year. I know the Jets aren't winning. 11 wins, 912 save percentage, 1 shutout. Like that's not anything special. He's not going to win it based off that. Then Talbot, then you have Swayman, who's not even the starter for Boston. Sorokin after that, Saros. One guy I was possibly looking at just because he leads the league in shutouts with 3, 917 save percentage. Tristan Jarry, if the Penguins can figure things out, but like he's 60 to 1 if you want to enter with a long shot at this point. Vasilevsky also 60 to 1 if you think he can put something together and carry the Lightning. But I think at this point it's
too far behind.
It's either
and he has no defense. The Lightning have been shitty defense. I mean, like. Sure, you could say, "Oh, that's a good thing because it'll show he'll get the stats," but no, he will get the goals against, which is this is the award voted on by the GMs. They're typically a more conservative bunch. They're not going to be looking so much at goals saved above expected. They're going to be looking at shutouts and wins and goals allowed. And you don't want to be on a bad defensive team for that reason, which is why I don't like Connor Ingram at 25 to 1 because he can put up great stats, but it'll just be like Sorokin last year, where he put up insane stats and still lost to the guy who was on a winning team.
Yep, the market has definitely narrowed a bit. And speaking of that, the Norris era, it seems like it's a 2-man race, as you pointed out. 2 or 3 weeks ago,
right? Makar should be the favorite now that he's healthy. He's better defensively than Quinn Hughes. That's just a marginal aspect of it, but he's scoring more goals, and I think he'll be on the better team at the end of the year. Pretty clearly at this point. That the Avalanche are better than the Canucks, but yeah, it is just a 2-man race, which is why I've been betting only these guys for the whole season long. The odds reflect that. Looking at the book here, everyone else is 21 or higher, and I don't expect many guys to approach these two defensemen to compete with them. So it's at this point though you can't bet McCarr considering the he's coming back from another injury and he is kind of injury prone. I get that he's never played a full season, so I understand the apprehension there. But assuming health, he's probably going to win it. And I would rather bet McCarr than Quinn Hughes when Quinn Hughes is favored. Other than that, I've got no thoughts on it. It's a two-man race in my opinion. Pending just disaster or injury, but most of the time that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I think unless there's two major injuries or like McCarr gets injured and the Canucks and Hughes fall off a cliff, I think it's definitely them. I do wish it was kind of more of a race though, because my boy Evan Bouchard has the 5th most points by a defenseman behind Hughes, McCarr, Hedman, and Hronik, who's buoyed a bit by Quinn Hughes' numbers. But
Hronik also sucks lately, by the way. Just off as an aside, he's been bad lately as well. I mean, he's taking terrible shots. He's bad defensively. That's another reason why the Canucks are struggling right now.
There's some good Vancouver insight there from our BC resident. What we got left? Calder, is it Bedard now, or wait for an injury? Is it Hughes? Can Hughes get it? He's a 10-1.
I think he can, but Bedard has got to, he's got to slow down a lot. He has a lot of work to do to catch up, but he's the only one on a good team between all these players. I mean, Brock Faber's getting love now because of Dom's article showing that he's actually the best rookie. Dom at The Athletic, he was showing Bedard is only 9th best in terms of his net rating because he's so terrible defensively. But of course, the voters don't give a shit about that. They just want to see the points, the stats. They're not looking at the chances allowed when on the ice. so they're not going to care about Brock Faber's net rating at The Athletic. I don't think that you can consider him. It's just about goals and assists in this game and prominence in the media. And Connor Bedard is got all those things, and he's going to be featured in all these, like every Blackhawks game. It's all going to be just a Bukkake over Bedard. I'm just waiting it out. I'm not betting anymore. I'm not going to lose any more fucking money in this stupid market. I would not recommend betting against him right now. If you want, you could just lay the minus 250 and count your money at the end of the season. But that's a long time away. And I'm not doing that when so many things can happen in between now and the end of fucking June.
Yeah, I think if you're not in the market yet, then Luke Hughes at 10-1 is probably a decent entry point, even though you miss longer odds. He does have 15 points. He's on the first power play unit. I think he'll probably stay there. However, definitely a chance to rack up those points. Shout out Marco Rossi of the Wild, though. He's been hot recently. He's racked up. He's now up to 15 points, tied second with Hughes. He's up at 25-1. Not sure what he started at, but yeah, it's Bedard's award to lose, as it's been since probably a calendar year ago at this point. Knowing how good he was going to be, and hopefully for the sake of you, Joel, and the people that threw some darts there, maybe he gets hurt and we open us up a bit, because there are a bunch of guys below him. Like if Bedard suddenly got hurt, we'd be like, okay, Hughes is the favorite, but like Cooley, Carlson, Mintzkoff, even like Marco Rossi, Fantilli, like it would open it up a bit. But yeah, it's Bedard. Minus 250 is just too much though.
Absolutely. So last one is the Jack Adams, of course. Oh, big stop. 4th and goal, 4th and 2 there. The Patriots stopped them. All right. Yeah, this one, Talcott seen his odds drift a little bit, which is fair. They should not have been 4-1 after the past couple of weeks of how the Canucks been playing. And McClellan and Laviolette have rightly risen up the board because right now, through the first quarter of the season or so, the Kings and the Rangers have been the most impressive teams. And they're getting the respect in this market for that. Neither of them are the profile of an improvement coach, but they definitely have the profile of a great team coach. Both teams can just go on a dominant run and win their own conference in the regular season. Both teams can easily win the President's Trophy, which is why their odds are what they are. So yeah, if you could still find Laviolette, McClellan at like 12-1 or better, I recommend those bets. But looking at this book here, 8-1 is not good enough. If you want actual bets, I mean, Tourigny has fallen here, rightly so, to 12-1. Just a few laughable ones. Bruce Cassidy should not be 11-1. Bednar 15-1 and get out of here. Sheldon Keefe, what the fuck? Who's betting Sheldon Keefe 20-1? I don't get that at all. He should not be anywhere near that number. John Tortorella rightly bet up, but again, these are past tense bets. Like these are bets that were rightly made in the case of Tortorella and Tourigny and so forth, but not so much in Sheldon Keefe. I don't know why his odds fell. I don't get that. But yeah, looking down the board, I don't really see anything worth looking at. You got your replacement coaches, Kristen Hoplock 20-1, John Hines 25-1. I don't know how often that's happened. I still haven't done the research on that. It's tough to see the coach getting the credit when he didn't start the season with the team. But maybe I could be wrong. I'll have to see how often that's happened. I doubt it's very often at all, more than my fingers on my one hand. Yeah, after that, it's pretty tiring. Andrew Burnett, 35-1 is kind of interesting. If the Preds keep rolling here and make the playoffs, he was kind of spurned that one year when Daryl Sutter won it, and the Panthers, I think they were the first in the division, of course. And yeah, if it wasn't for Daryl Sutter doing his thing, and Burnett was splitting the votes with Gerard Gallant on the East Coast, and then Daryl Sutter cut up the votes on the West Coast, so that worked out for my guy Daryl Sutter there. That was a nice win. But yeah, Burnett, I think, is the only bet on the board that I'm looking at. I mean, these odds fluctuate all the time, and you can find way different odds in different books. But at the book I'm looking at, 35-1, Andrew Burnett would be my favorite look on the board.
Yeah, for some reason, I thought Berube won it the year he took over in St. Louis, but he was just a finalist with Cooper, and then Trotz won it with the Islanders. So,
see, if Berube didn't win it for that year,
yeah,
then who's going to win?
Yeah, the replacement coaches, forget everything I ever said about Knobloch or Hines having a chance. Yeah, I think Lavi at 6-1. The Rangers are the favorites for the President's Trophy at plus 425. There's, if they win the President's Trophy, he very likely is at least a finalist. Tocchet plus 350. It's bet down that much for a reason. He is the favorite. He has the broadcast friends and everything. Tortorella 25-1. I think that's still a decent play, even with my orange tinted glasses. But yeah, I think this is Tocchet's award to lose, and 350 isn't bad if you're not in yet.
What? Wait, 350?
Yeah, for Tocchet.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think it's worth it?
No. I mean, you could find at the book I'm looking at 6-1. If you
okay, but it's 6-1, even better.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
If just find the best price.
Yeah. If I find the best price for him, maybe 350 isn't great, but
I just have low confidence in the Canucks right now. I don't like the way they're playing, and they have bad underlying numbers. No, you said that they were 14th in the expected goals for percentage in the last show, right? That was the stat you had.
They're 17th now, under 50%.
Yeah, that's more like what I thought.
Yeah. I think it might have been 14th in like last 10 games or something.
Yeah, Canucks been sustained by their power play and their goaltending, which is typically unsustainable. So that's why I'm kind of I'm not adding any more Tocchet at these low numbers. But I understand the case, and I hope he fucking wins. So yeah, 6-1. If you want to get in with me, then go for it. I just don't think that's the best bet on the board.
Yeah. All right. You got any team futures you got your eyes on? I know you mentioned a few point totals during our 3-man shows. Not sure if you want to go into any of them here.
Yeah, the problem with those are that they're not really widely available. There's only a few books that I use that have them. The more prominent one is to make the playoffs, but most of the teams are they're either minus 5,000 to make or like minus 5,000 to miss. So it's cutting a lot of your options down. But yeah, if you can find a book, let's say the Ducks are still losing to the Blackhawks. I was hoping for the Ducks to win this game against the Blackhawks, then I would come in on the under on the Ducks. But 15 minutes to go, the Blackhawks still winning. So I'm less interested in that. If the Blackhawks win, I'll still be waiting it out because I do expect the the Ducks to continue to play terribly. I don't know why that their team their points total is all the way up at like 74. So I expect them to be more or closer to where they were last year at the end of the day. So I'm looking at that, just waiting for the right entry point there. Okay. Conversely, though, Blackhawks win, I'll just bet the Blackhawks under again if it goes up, because anything over like 61, 62 points, I don't see it. Like, I don't think that they're 13, 14, 15 points better than they were last year just because they have Bedard in. They're a worse team otherwise. They lost Taylor Hall for the season. Corey Perry is actually a decent player. And the young guys haven't really stepped up as much as you'd like to see. Lucas Reichel, Kevin Korchinski, they have a lot of talent, a lot of promise, but so far I haven't seen it. So Blackhawks under, Ducks under. Those are the ones I'm looking at right now. Panthers over. If you can still find like a 99.5.
100.5 is out there on this book here.
Yeah, okay. I don't mind that. Kings over. I know they won today, but they have a kind of tougher schedule rest of the year, but still, I think the Kings are going to win the division. So, yeah, maybe just bet the Kings to win the division. That'll give you a plus number, and you just have to beat the Knights. And I think the Knights are not as good as the Kings. So, and then the Canucks are just going to struggle to hang on to the third spot in the Pacific, in my opinion. So I like Kings to win the division. That's the best bet for the team futures.
Yeah, you can get Kings at plus 140. You know, I've been touting Kings for the Cup around, between 15 and 20 to 1 in the Discord. I think that's still good. I know you mentioned Panthers to win the division. You can still get that at 4 to 1. You mentioned that previously.
Yep, Bruins lost today. Leafs won, but I don't think the Leafs win in the division. So it's between the Panthers and the Bruins, I think. Especially now with Joseph Wall, like it looks like his injury is pretty serious. He had to be helped off the ice by 2 people, and so yeah, Joseph. They got Martin Jones in net tonight, and they got Samsonov, who's been extremely inconsistent. So at least goaltending could continue to be a problem. And right when they're looking for a defenseman to replace all their other guys on injured reserve, now they got to spend the cap space maybe on a replacement goalie. So that's another reason to fade the Leafs now and get in what you can on the Panthers. I think it's the best price in the Atlantic.
Yeah, and if you're someone that doesn't mind, tying up your money for a while and in a longer odds bet, Panthers to make the playoffs at minus 440. Like, I don't think they're gonna fall off as of now. They're 32 points. The first team out of a playoff spot is at 28. I mean, I know that
just take the over 100.5.
It's a long season, but I'm saying not all books have the points offered. I'm just offering up.
Fair enough.
Yeah, if you can't get points, probably just take the division or maybe cup or something, because the Panthers are good. And Talon may have mentioned in the Discord, like the Kachuk talked about how the Panthers play for each other. They're a team. Like, they made the Stanley Cup final last year. They're mostly the same group again this year. They're gonna go back at it. So I think as long as they make the dance, they're gonna have a good chance to win the cup. There's still 19 to 1 you can get at certain books, 18 to 1 other books. I think that's definitely a good look there. Oilers back down to 16 to 1 for the cup. We alluded to it earlier. Do you think the Oilers are back looking at for like a playoff team?
I mean, early on when you can get like 25 to 1, okay, but this team are not really built like a team to win the cup. I think your Stars just scored odds went off the board. I don't know. I'm just looking at the odds.
It's in overtime.
Yeah, it's in overtime. But the Stars have the puck and the odds went off the board. So that's typically a sign that they scored.
Hopefully.
Or a power play. Oh, no, Capitals power play. Oh, fuck. No, sorry.
Oh, fucking hell.
All right. Yeah, Oilers, they're just they have the best player in the world. And probably another top 3 player in the world in Draisaitl. But in the playoffs, when they rely so much on their power play, you see how it dries up later on in the series. Like the refs love to call penalties in the first 4 games of the series, but the last 3, they put the whistles away, which is good to see. But it's not good for the Oilers, who really rely on their power play, which is why I'm kind of pessimistic about the Devils too. And but yeah, the Oilers they just don't have elite goaltending. Their defense sucks. They lose all these 1-score games. And yeah, it's just not a team I like to back in the playoffs. They like to have like these clutch teams with big defensemen, and they win these clutch games, like the Knights last year, the Avalanche with their defensive system and their elite talent as well. The Lightning, of course, are the Kings with just winning with goaltending and finding that clutch goal. But yeah, the Oilers, not so interesting. I think that they are an elite regular season team, but the odds are just a little bit too short to back them to win the cup right now. Although, I've got all those Canadian team to win the cup bet, so hopefully they could pull it out. But I'm not raising my hopes.
Yeah, you got your ass covered there a little bit with that Canada bet. You still fading the Flames here? You can get them to miss playoffs at -170.
Yeah, I mean that's fine to me. I mean they're just waiting for an excuse to blow it up, to trade Tanev, to trade Hannafin, to trade even Lindholm. I think the Bruins are still, I don't know what they got to do to get them there, but that'd be a perfect fit for them. And yeah, if they're losing right now 2-0 to the Flames, so yeah, I'm already in at a couple times, couple different numbers. So yeah, Flames minus 170 is not the worst look in the world.
I'm seeing here you can get the Wild to miss the playoffs at -115. It's -150 elsewhere. So I mean -150 I think is still a decent price. They're so far behind.
For
I don't
whom?
know if the Wild. I don't know if they can
Oh.
keep up this new coach bounce for too long.
Well, problem is that this is the division, right? It's who's
Avstars Jets. They're not going to fall out of it. I don't believe in
yeah.
the Coyotes. I know you guys do. Their odds to make the playoffs I think are like 3-1 now. Or, no, still 5-1, but 4-1 some books there.
Yeah, and then you look at the other side in the Pacific. You got
Pacific's garbage.
Yeah, it's like I could see a couple bad teams making the playoffs in the West. That's the problem. So yeah, I mean, if you want, like you're right. It could be a dead cat bounce where the team doesn't go anywhere, or it's the new coach bounce where the team really bounces back and performs at the level we were expecting. Like they were supposed to be a 97-point team according to preseason projections. Maybe they still come close to that, which in the case of the West, they'll make the playoffs. So I think the better play would be to do I saw their point total at under 89.5. I think that that's a better look because I could see a team making the playoffs with 87, 88 points, 89 points in the West this year because it's really bad. And all the points are going to go to the East where you might need fucking 100 points to make the playoffs this year. That's how many good teams there are in the Eastern Conference. So that's where I would look. If you could find a points total market under 89.5, I like that better than to miss.
Yeah, I'm seeing a Blues point total here at 86.5. I'm not sure what they're on pace for right now, but that seems kind of high. I know they've been better than expected, but I think they have to come back down to earth sometime.
Well, wait till they beat the Blue Jackets tomorrow as we bet.
Yes, that's true. Sure, yes.
Bet the under.
All right. Any other team futures here you want to touch on before we close it out?
No, I got to sweat out the rest of this Patriots Steelers game. The Steelers are coming back, doing the same old second half shit as usual. So I gotta witness this live.
Yeah, all right. We got the Flyers third period starting soon. Avs third period starting soon. So we got plenty of stuff to go watch. We'll be back on Friday night. Should be a full show here with Talon hosting on Friday night, probably around 9:30, 10 p.m. Eastern time, previewing I'm assuming it's a big slate on Saturday. I got 12 games on Saturday, so we'll be getting into that. Make sure you are subscribed to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on YouTube. Join us live on Friday night around 10 o'clock for that. Or subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Leave us a 5-star rating and review, and I'll read it here at the end of the show. Get in the SGPN Discord. Just go to sg.pn/Discord or reach out to myself or the Hockey Gambling Podcast Twitter account at HockeySGPN. Also, tag us in your holiday or your HGP Spotify Wrapped if you have anything there. We've got tagged by a few people, so we'll make sure to retweet you. Maybe we'll put you into a contest for like a hoodie or a hat or something, so we can get that going there. And yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at rgilbertsop.
I'm Joel Meyer, and you can find me jinxing myself, not just my co-host, as Shark mentions in the chat. And we got a one goal lead here in the shootout against the Capitals. Capitals missed twice. Stars have a shot coming up.
I'm
We're gonna see this live. No, we're gonna go. We're gonna go off the air. Cheers,
all
everyone.
Right. See ya.